So we'll start with petty cash books. Petty cash books. See, in petty cash book, the preparation is similar to normal cash book. From this part to this part is normal cash book like. This will be receipt side and this will be payment side. In receipt side, you have only one receipt, which is the amount received from the original cash book. And you make the payment appearing in the payment side. Usually all the payments are recorded here one after one and meant for a small expenses, petty expenses, not the big expenses. The big expenses are shown only in where? In your cash book, where you have the triple column cash book. From the cash book, small amount is transferred to the petty cashier who is responsible for spending small expenses. Okay, this block. Here you have only one cash, you know. What we do know, you can simply remove this, write the balance here itself. That way also be shown. The opening balance will be appearing here. Cash transfer from the cash book to petty cash book is recorded here. This entire column can be removed. And you have only the expenses nature being the petty, okay, petty nature. For example, you may pay for traveling expenses, postage, and the expenses number 2 is assumed to be the postage and expenses number 1 being the traveling. So, traveling, postage, traveling. So you have initially 10,000 rupees or 1,000 rupees, you paid 50 rupees for expenses 1, 30 rupees for expenses 2, 40 rupees for expenses 2, again 20 rupees for expenses 1, and for expenses 1 again another 100 rupees. From 1,000 you have made this payment. Okay, you have to subtract. Okay, from 1,000 you have to subtract all these things. 50, 30, 80, 120, 140, 240 paid. From 1,000, 240 is paid. So remaining you have 760 rupees. That will be the balance. Is that okay? Every period beginning, you go and ask the cashier for a big number. Whatever the amount you spend, you know, for this period, you recover this from the cashier. So we have, after the subtraction, how much? 760. How much now we'll be getting it from cashier? 240. Again, your balance be 1,000. You start with 1,000. By the end, after spending, you reduce your balance to 760. You know, make it equal to again 1,000. How? Amount what is spent, you can get it from the cashier. So every period beginning, you have a constant number. That constant number you have to maintain under impressed system. This is called impressed system. Is that okay? And if I want to know what is the traveling expenses, postage expenses separately, then it's really tough, you know. So then we have separate columns added after this main book for every expenses. Expenses number 1 being the traveling expenses, here 50 rupees. Again we spend 20 rupees. Again we spend 100 rupees. Total being 170 for traveling. If I ask you how much you spend 240 rupees. Out of the traveling expenses is how much? 170. And in case of expenses 2 being the postage expenses, here 30, you have to write here expenses 2 column, 40 here. Then how much is for the expenses 2? 70. So the 70 is for this one. This is for postage. Now you can find out what is the total expenses incurred for the traveling expenses and postage separately, as well as total expenses you incur. Whatever the total expenses you spend, you know, you can get it from the main cashier to make the balance equal to the initial value. That initial value you require to maintain will be always made available every period beginning. It means you have to get the amount spent from the main cashier. This is called impressed system. Is that clear? Now, already told you, initial balance and cash we have. Apart from that, we spend all these things, and from this total expenses subtracted, again we have the balance. This will be carried forward for the next period as brought down. And whatever the amount you spend, you know, the total amount you spend, you know, that you get from cashier. This you will get from where? From cashier, main cashier. Probably 240 as per our example. Out of that, 170 is for expenses number 1 and 70 being the expenses 2. So the amount recoverable from the cashier to make it equivalent to the initial value is called amount recovered for interest system. Now, what happens to this 170, sir? If you prepare that concern expenses 1 account, this is being the expenses. Expenses is always debit balance, you know. So this balance will be posted directly in the debit side of that expenses account. Okay, you are transferring. This is for expenses 1. Similarly, you open for the expenses number 2 where this total will be transferable there. This amount ultimately transferable to where? Income statement. It will be transferable to the income statement. This is the format. Hope you will be now able to understand. Let me explain once again. Petty cash book. In short, we have the opening balance or balance brought down. Okay, balance brought down and the cash we received. These two will be shown in the left hand side representing receipts, payment. Hereafter you have only payments, expenses, so category 1, 2, like all the payments. Okay. Now this will be called your total expenses. This will be called as your total receipts. And after tallying this, whatever the shortage you have, whatever the balance you have now, make it equivalent to the initial value. It means you have to get this money back. Okay, from the main cashier. If you get this money, then interest system is confirmed. This payment again splitted for various expenses. Expenses 1, expenses 2, expenses so on. The total of each and every expenses will be equivalent to that summed up value. Then each and expenses will be transferred to the concerned ledger account. That's the logic. So you have to understand the preparation of petty cash book as well as preparation of the concerned expenses account. Is that clear? Let me start with first illustration. So what's the requirement? This is a simple illustration carrying only 3 marks. Calculate the amount required to restore the petty cash impressed on 1st May. So amount required for restoring to make it impressed. What you have to do? You have to ask for the expenses spent. Okay. How do you restore? How do you restore? Whatever the amount you spend, you have to get it back. That's all. You have 1000 rupees in your purse. You spend around 600 rupees. You have only 400 in your pocket. Go and ask your parents to get another 600 rupees. Again, it makes equal to 1000 rupees. The amount spent will be the amount required for restoring the petty cash. Loti is a trader. Her financial year ends on 30th April. She keeps her petty cash book using imprest system. The imprest amount being 150. That 150 is the beginning value. And the totals of the payments analysis column in her petty cash book are as follows. During the April 2024, Loti received a refund for damages stationery 15. This amount was received into petty cash. So this is the spending. This is the refund. Then what is the total amount we spent? 21 plus 47 plus 44 minus 15. Okay. So 21 plus 47 plus 44. This is the total spending minus 15. So you might have spent 97 rupees after refund. Now for restoring your petty cash interest, you have to get what? This 97 back. Whatever amount you spend, you get it back. That is called amount required for restoring the petty cash interest. Is that clear? First question is over. Anika decided to maintain petty cash book using imprest system. The imprest amount being 150 on 1st March 2025. Anika drew the amount required for petty cash from bank account. Okay. 1st March. And during March 25, Anika made the following payments. So these are the payments. The initial value being $150. And these are the payment you are incurring. Now you have to prepare Anika petty cash book and balance petty cash book, bring down the balance and restore the interest. These are the things you have to prepare. Let's see. I'll just prepare here. Now, For the received one column, received will be in the left hand side and date details will be in the middle. Payment should be in the right hand side. First you finish up this one. Right. So in whose book we are going to prepare? Anika book. Anika book. You have to prepare petty cash. Petty cash book. This will be total receipt. And this will be total payments. Clear? Now, here, initial balance being on 1st March 25, initial balance we have is 86. This detail is missing. Make a note of it. So, this is the impressed system. This is the impressed value. So, initially they have how much in the month beginning? 1st March 2025. Balance brought down. How much is that? 86 we have. This one you have to make a note of it. So initial amount being 86. And impressed value being 150 means we have only 86 in our hand. The shortage you have to bring it from the main cashier. You have to get the money from your dad, So when going to the school, you will go with some money. Usually, still you have after spending few money. So probably 5 rupees or 10 rupees, you again ask your dad to make it equal to 100 rupees or something. Similarly, here 64 rupees he has to bring it. Okay, the difference between impressed amount and balance available. So on the same date, he gets from main cashier, either from cash or bank. This value being 64. These two only will be available in receipt side. And hereafter, whatever it may be, predominantly it falls in the payment side only. March 6th. 6th March, there is a payment for petrol. So the petrol payment being $30. Paid for computer paper. Okay. On 10th March, this is for computer paper. The value being 12 rupees, $12. On 17th March, paid Sam on account. The payment is made to Sam. How much is that? 48. And paid for postage on 21st March. Postage $6. Paid for car cleaning 28th March. Car cleaning value being $8. Now, what's the total spending you have incurred? 104 rupees. 104 rupees. Now balance this. Now you can balance this. 150, that impressed amount will be in the received side. 104 spent. Now you have balance being 46. This is called balance carried on the last date of the month, 31st March. Balance carried on. Take that to the next period. Okay. 1st April, balance brought down being 46. You have to make impressed system, right? Value being impressed amount being 104. So bank. How much you have to bring? The amount you spend in total will be the amount brought in. So 104 you will be getting it from main cashier. Clear? Apart from that, you have to do classification. In your exam, question is asked this way. You need to classify related to the motor expenses, office expenses, and ledger accounts like. Okay, ledger account like. Any amount payable to the person will fall under ledger account. Let's see, I will write one after one here. Now first motor expenses and office expenses and ledger account. Okay. I may try to solve this one now. Yes. Come on, guess. Petrol is related to what? Motor only, no? For running the machines or bike, car, whatever it may be. Computer paper related to the office expenses. Same. Any parties are paid, then that will be falling under ledger account. Postage related to the office only. No, you can guess this way also. Car cleaning related to the motor expenses. That's how you can group. Then overall expenses for motor being 38 rupees, overall expenses for office being 18 rupees, ledger expenses being 48. So this will be the broken up value of this 104. Hope you will be now able to understand. Clear? Shivan maintains petty cash book using impressed system. The impressed amount which is 200. So impressed amount being $200 is restored every Wednesday. Weekly you have to get it restored. All payments less than 75 are made from petty cash. The payment being less than 75 will be done through petty cash. If it is more than 75, main cashier will make it paid. Okay. And all cash receipt less than 75 are paid into petty cash. Similarly, if there is any receipt less than 75 also be considered as revenue posted in the petty cash only. Okay, so receipt as well as payment both are there. Right. On 1st March 23, Shivan had 61 in his petty cash box. So opening balance, the balance brought down being only 61. So requirement being 200, the shortage may be now received from the main cashier. He provided the following information for the first week in March 2023. Prepare Shivan petty cash book for the first week of March 23 on the page opposite. Okay. Balance the petty cash at 7th March 2023. Bring down the balance at 8th March 2023. Okay. So this question carries 10 marks asked in May, June 23. Okay, very simple illustration. And in your examination answer script, okay, this may be given, the format may be given, so you have to fill only these things, right? So the opening balance being 61, total receipt, total paid and petty cash book. Okay, and we have been given office expenses, travel and ledger accounts. So all the related expenses are broken down into two categories, predominantly office expenses and travel. Apart from that, when you are making any payment to any of the parties, that will be posted in the ledger accounts. Clear? With a small briefing, let me start this. So 1st March 2023. So 2023, 1st March. Okay, balance brought down being 61. But we need to have how much? 200 rupees. So 200, we have only 61, means shortage being 139. You have to get 139 from the main cashier. So on the same date you are collecting, stating that sir, there is a shortage, give me this money. Okay, 61 is the beginning value and shortage being 139, you are getting it from main cashier 139. Now you will have how much? That impressed amount 200 rupees. This is over. On March 1, restored petty cash impressed from the business bank account. Yeah, of course we restored from the bank account only, we posted already. And 2nd March there's a payment. Okay, 2nd March paid to Gillies. Okay, trade payable. Then it is a ledger payment. The value being $55. Paid taxi fare on 3rd March. Taxi fare. Okay, the value being $21. Paid 18 for notepads and pens. 6th March paid for notepads and pens. This value being $18. Received cash 25 from Mitchell, a trade receivable. You are receiving from whom? Mitchell. On which date? On the same date you are receiving. Also this is falling under ledger account. Mitchell. The value being 25 received. So I put the value in the total received column in the left hand side. So you have to be double cautious with this. Now paid $30 for office cleaning on 7th March. 7th March office cleaning. The value being $30. $30. So I have posted all these values. Now I have to finish up tallying this. See here. Now the total in the left hand side be the total of this one. How much is this total? 55, 21, 18 and 30. 55, 21, 18 and 30. The value being 124. 124. And the overall total while tallying, you will get 225 in the total received column, and you have only 124 spent here. The difference between these two, 101 is the total spending net of return. Okay, 101. This 101 you have to bring it from your main cashier. Okay, 101. So this is the balance. Balance carried on. In the next date, 1st August, balance brought down being this value 101 will be transferable here. The amount what we spend, will come under amount recoverable from the main cashier, impressed for making it impressed value 1. In this case, you have to be careful. Amount spent 124 minus amount recovered 25. If you subtract the amount recovered for restoring be 99 only. So you have to post here only 99 rupees. Be careful here. Otherwise, always cross verify this value is equal to the impressed amount. The impressed amount is 200. After amount recovered from the bank, it should be equal to 200 only. So we have 200, no problem. What we have done is correct. Now classification of these expenses. Gilas will go to ledger account. Taxi fare will be falling in travel. Notepad may be office expenses. Mitchell and ledger account only. It is given in the other side. Office cleaning, office expenses 30. The total office expenses being 48 and total traveling expenses being 21 and ledger account being 55. Is that okay? So you have to be careful here. The 99 being the amount recovered for making it equal to the impressed amount. Okay. The 8th March. Okay. The 8th March. Okay. 8th March. Make a correction. Question number 4. Nasmin makes all payments of less than $100 by petty cash. The impressed amount, which is 200, is restored on the first day of each month. So impressed amount being 200. I put the value here. And opening balance also being the same. This is available already in the beginning. Okay. So complete Nazmin's petty cash book and bring down the balance for the next period. And what to be prepaid also given in the answers sheet itself. So you now post this. So January 2022 January 2022 3rd January. You start with 1st January, the first date. The value being 200. Balance brought down. Balance brought down. The value being 200. On 3rd, there's a payment for petrol. 3rd January. So payment. 3rd January. Payment is for petrol. The value being $35. Paid for magazines for the reception area. Magazine. On 8 Jan, magazines purchased. Okay, magazines. $14. Paid 60 to GL Limited, GL ledger account, right? 17th Jan, payment made to GL Limited. The value being $17. Paid for vehicles cleaning, 26th January, vehicles cleaning. The value being $9. And last one being 29th January, paid to Alim, a trade payable, $38. Okay, so I have completed all these values posted. Okay. Now, let's total the expenses. The total expenses being, and the GL Limited value is 60. Okay. I had to make it 60. Sorry. Okay. This is 60. 6938. The overall value being 156. Now, tally the debit and credit columns. Received and paid column. So 200, 200. You have balance on the last date, 31st Jan, balance carried on, being 44. You take to the next side, 1, 2 balance brought down from the previous side, 44. The amount spent, you have to make it 200. Usually the amount spent minus amount received, if any. There is no any amount received, the entire amount spent will be reimbursed from the main cashier for impressed amount. 156, you are getting it back. Okay, 156. Now you have to categorize these expenses. Petrol will come under motor expenses. Magazine is not motor expenses. There is sundry expenses column, so you can post there. GL Limited related to the party will fall under ledger account. Vehicle cleaning, motor expenses 9, and Alim related to the ledger account 38. Now total every separate column independently. 35 plus 9, 44, and here 14, here 98. Clear? Rashid started a business on 1st October 21. He maintains petty cash book in business. A monthly interest of $100 is restored on the first day of each month. So interest amount being $100. Just now started, there will not be any balance. So this may be amount recovered from the main cashier. Receipts transaction for the month September 2022. Okay. Where as follows. Complete receipts petty cash book. Complete receipts petty cash book for the month of September 2022. Okay. Not only that, balance the petty cash book and bring down the balance. Also clearly show the amount required to restore the interest. Carries around 6 marks. Apart from that, record the entries which would made in the following accounts. Postage account, it's a nominal account. Apart from that, you have to prepare purchase ledger, crystal account. You have to prepare these two ledger also simultaneously. Okay, let me try to solve this illustration. First, to finish off calculating the amount required for interest system. So this is the first date. So they have to start collect the money $100 from the main cashier on 1st September. Okay, 2022. 1st September, bank. He gets the money from the banker. So, but it is given in the text in your answer script as cash. No need to worry about that 100. There is no any opening balance. We collect this directly. Paid taxi fare. Now the payments being 2nd September taxi fare. 12 rupees, $12. 7th September paid purchase ledger account. Crystal. Payment for Crystal 16. And bought postage stamp. 13th September postage. Payment for postage being 10. Paid purchase ledger account Kalpa. So we have made a payment to Kalpa 18.9. Kalpa, the value being 15. And paid bus fare on 25th September. Bus fare. The bus fare being $5. Paid cleaner charges 29th September. Cleaner payment. The value being 28. Right, so let me finish up this. Total expenses we spend currently being 86. Okay, 12, 16, 10, 15, 5 and 28. Now finish up tallying the ledger. 100 rupees is in the total received column. There is no any other receipt. And the difference between these two, 14 will be the balance carried on. In the last date, 39, balance carried on. And don't forget to write the other side 110 balance brought down. The balance brought down being the balance you have in the previous month last. Any amount you spend, because of that, the interest amount decreased, you have to bring it from main cash here. Either it may be cash or bank, no problem here. So the value being 86. The amount spent is recovered usually. Cross verify after this amount, the total should be equivalent to the interest amount. Now my duty is to segregate these expenses to various categories. It is also given travel, postage, cleaning and ledger account. For travel, taxi fare is travel only 12 rupees in this. Crystal is ledger account 16. Postage will be in postage account. Kalpa will be in ledger account. Bus fare being the travel 5. Cleaner being cleaning expenses, so 28. The overall expenses for the travel being 17. And postage being 10 and cleaning being 28 and finally it is 31. Apart from that, we have to prepare postage account as well as purchase ledger crystal account. Let me prepare those ledger accounts also here. Let's see. I prepare here itself. Okay. So you have to prepare what? Postage account. So in the books of Rasid, you have to prepare postage account. The total value for postage being 10 is transferred here. 10. Okay, and the last date 30th September 2022, named as petty cash. This is named as petty cash. Okay, leave as it is. If you are asked to transfer to the concerned ledger, then you can state here income statement or stop here itself. Similarly, you have to prepare purchase ledger crystal account. Let's see. Purchase ledger and crystal account. So if you are purchasing, the amount payable to crystal is increasing. If you are making the payment, the amount payable to crystal is decreasing as purchases. Here to crystal we have made a payment of 16. As we make a payment for the purchases, the amount payable to the party will be decreasing, so it should be posted in the debit side here on this date. Okay, this will be as on the original date of payment 7/9. Here we write the exact last date of the month. Here it is not so. Actual date will be taken 7/9 petty cash. So the date is very, very important. The amount payable or paid to crystal means 16. This can be transferable to income statement if you want to close this, but here you have the balance. It is not going to be transferable to the income statement. Hope you will be now able to understand this case. So this question was asked in May, June 2021, question number 1A carrying 6 marks, and another 2 marks also given. So we'll finish up that later on. Let's finish up this one first. Leo maintains petty cash using imprest system. The imprest amount being $200 is restored on the first day of each month. All payments less than 100 are made from petty cash. All cash receipts less than 100 are paid into the petty cash. 1st April 21, Leo had 48 in his petty cash box. So balance he has currently being 48, but 200 rupees is required. The shortage 152 should be brought in. Right. Prepare petty cash book for Leo. Okay. So let's solve this one. So here in the books of Leo, petty cash book, total receipt, total paid. In the answers sheet, they have given 3 columns. 3 columns for classification of these expenses, and classified expenses detail also given here, related to travel, related to office expenses, related to ledger account. Right. So 2021. We'll start this one now. Yes. 2021, 1st April, the balance being 48, balance brought down being 48. But as per the imprest balance, we need to maintain 200 rupees. 152 should be brought in. 152 should be brought in on the same day, cash or bank. Now record the payments. Restore the petty cash imprest from business bank account. We have completed. Paid for office cleaning on 5th April. Office cleaning. Okay, $21. Paid for train ticket on 7th April. Train ticket, the value being $13. Paid 72 to Hunter trade payable on 13th April. Payment to Hunter $72. Paid taxi fare on 18th April. Taxi fare, the value being $14. And received cash 11 from Conrad, a trade receivables, 25th April. So you are receiving from Conrad. Again, this will also be a part of ledger account, but as it is being the receipt, should be posted the other side. Now, total the expenses, the total expenses being 120. Total of credit side means received side being 211, the balance being 91. As on the last day of the month, balance carried on being 91. It will go as balance brought down in the next side, next period first day. And imprest amount being 200 rupees, you know. To make it 200 rupees, how much we have to bring? 200, but we currently have only 91, so we have to make 109 rupees to be deposited further. So on the date, bank or cash to be brought in being 109. Otherwise, amount received 120, amount spent minus amount received 120 minus 11. This value also be 109. This one is posted. Now we have to go for classification. Office cleaning will come under office expenses. Train ticket comes under traveling. Hunter ledger account 72. Taxi fare 14 will be traveling. Now the total of travel being 27, total of office expenses 21, ledger account payment total being 72. Okay. In this illustration, two more questions also asked. Name the ledger to which each of the following would be posted. The total of the column of travel expenses. Travel expenses total will go to the general ledger. General ledger. Whenever it is all about purchases and sales, that will be called as purchase ledger and sales ledger. Especially payment to Hunter will come under purchase ledger. Purchase ledger. Because you are paying means why do you pay? Because of your purchase only the due is payable, so it is called purchase ledger. Amount payable to supplier will be called as purchase ledger. Amount recoverable from your customer will be called as sales ledger. Hope you will be able to understand. Name the accounting principle which is being applied when figures from the petty cash book are posted to the appropriate ledger. So what we do, these things are transferable to the concerned travel and office expenses, general ledger. You transfer this to the general ledger. This will be transferable to purchase ledger. Purchase ledger, isn't it? Why do we so? Because of double entry concept, duality, okay? Because of the double entry, every debit should have equivalent credit, right? So duality concept, so we have to do this. So for this you get 1 mark and for this you get 2 marks. Hope now you'll be able to understand this one. So I have to explain one more aspect here. All these expenses you pay for petty reason or petty value will be transferable to the nominal ledger or general ledger. General ledger. Sometimes you may make the payment to your supplier, okay, for purchases. Supplier, okay, named as creditors. If the payment is made to the creditors, this will be named as ledger account. Named as ledger account. You need to include there. Any payment to your creditor. If you are receiving any amount from the debtors, it will be posted here in the receipt side. Also be transferable to the ledger account. In that case, this one, creditors is due to purchases, you know. So you have to open purchases ledger. In that purchases ledger, creditors, the party's name should be open. Purchases, creditors account, date. If you are making the payment, the amount payable to them is reduced. If the amount payable to them is increases, should be posted in the left hand side, while purchases, okay, credit purchases. On making the payment, it will be reducing. So here, you have to name this petty cash. Write the value here. Is that clear? Don't tally this. How this will be shown, you have to record it properly. This will be called purchase ledger. This is called general ledger. Similarly, in the case if you are receiving the money from debtors, that will be called as sales ledger. In that sales ledger, the party's name, debtor's name will be recorded here. Whenever the debtor balance increases, should be posted in the debit side, left hand side. If it is decreasing, it should be posted in the right hand side. When the value is increasing, credit sales. Okay. When it is going to be reduced, on payment. So if you are making any payment, so if you are paying, if you are getting the money, okay, if you are getting the money from debtors, the value is very small, means it may be posted in the petty cash. So petty cash account, okay, that's how you can post. Usually debtors account not tallied here. This also be not tallied. Usually not required to tally. In the case of nominal expenses, you know, you can transferable to the general ledger. If you are asked to tally, that value will be transferable to income statement, or you just keep as it is.